back with another one.
All right, guys, this is J.O.A.T.D. back with another video. Here in front of you is a 2006 Dodge Ram 1500. Today's video is going to be installing a subwoofer and amp. Let's get started. So in front of you is a JL Audio Stealth box. This box is specifically made for Dodge Ram trucks. The speaker in the box is a 10W3 V3. All right. Now the amp we'll be installing is a Kicker KX 400.1 D-Class monotone amp. All right. So this amp is rated for 400 watts. It should be good enough for this 10-inch woofer here. All right, guys. So this right here is the amplifier wiring kit that I chose. Got it out of Walmart. This right here is a 680 watt wiring kit. That's for the amp that we're going to install today. And the wire here, speaker wire, this is for the secondary amp that we're going to install. That's going to be for the mids and highs. We're going to run this too. And this right here is an audio cable. This is going to go to the secondary amp that's going to go under the driver's seat. So this is for the secondary amp, and under the driver's seat, this right here is for the specific amp, Kicker amp, that we're going to install. The first thing we're going to do is find out where we're going to run the power wire through the firewall. You see that circle right there between those two bolts? That right there is a clutch delete plate. We're going to drill directly straight through that. All right, I'm going to show you how it looks on the other side. All right, so the clutch delete plate is here. And once we drill from the inside of the cabin, it'll come out right through that plastic right there. It's the one that's right here. All right, it's going to come straight through the middle of it. That's going to be for the power wire. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to drill directly through that clutch delete plate. Since it's an 8-gauge wire, I'll be using a 5/16 drill bit. I'm going to start drilling through it now. I just drilled straight through the middle. Just so you can take a look under the bottom, exactly where I drilled. See right there? Went straight through the middle. All right, so it's ready for the 8-gauge wire. All right, so this right here is the 8-gauge wire I'll be using. And all we're gonna do is run it through that hole down there. Now, normally you would put like a grommet here, a rubber grommet, but I don't have one. So what I'm gonna do is, since that's plastic, I'm just gonna seal it once I run it through. All right, now if it was metal, I would try to find something grommet wise to go around the wire to stick on the metal, because metal will scrape off the coating around the wire. All right, so but this is plastic, so we're gonna go straight through the middle. Let's see. See that? Straight through. All right, now we're gonna finish feeding this through. All right, guys, so all I did was zip tie to the wire loom here, and it's just hanging out. We'll connect it later. We're gonna run everything first. All right, so we got the gauge wire through for the power wire for the amp. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and take the seat out. We have 15mm bolts in the front and 18mm bolts in the back. Okay, now before you take it loose, if you look up under here, you want to take the connection for the seat loose, the electrical connection. Okay, so this right here was just pushed up in these holes on the top right here. See it? You just pull that out and then disconnect it. To disconnect it, you're going to push down right here. Push down on that, and that locking tab will let it loose. All right, so let's go ahead and take the seat out. These are the two bolts from the front. You can see I just took those out. All right, so here are the screws for the back part of the seat. As you can see, they're removed. So what we're gonna do is go under the seat and see. We have a 13 millimeter bolt there in the front, and then we also have one. Let's see. Right there in the back. All right, so we got to take both of those loose to kind of let you see what I'm looking at. This is how it looks from the side. All right, so they're under here. It's one here, and then it's one back here. All right, you got to take those out. So the back actually has two screws. If you go up under here and look, you have one, and then it's one in the back. So it's two in the back underneath the seat, and then it's the one that is here. All right, so we got all three nuts off, and the seat should come out. Let's see. Yeah, see that? There we go. All right, now the next thing we have to do to get the seat out is to pop this loose here and take out that seatbelt bolt. It's a T45. All right, so this right here is the T45 bolt for the seatbelt, as you can see. All right, guys, so you don't have to take the seat out all the way. You can just kind of lift it up. And if you just go down here, you can see where I took the nuts off of these two studs. These two studs go in these two holes here. And let's see, this stud right here goes in this hole, which connects it to that middle piece right there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this trim right here. And the easiest way to do that is just take it like a fish bone or a pry tool, kind of stick it up under it. See if you can get it up under it. Just like that. And then just pop it all the way loose, all the way down. Just go all the way down and pop it all the way loose, and it'll come loose. All right, see that? So you're just gonna keep pulling it till you get it all the way out, just like that. And it pops loose here too. I would get the pry tool and stick it in here. Just like that. And just pull the whole piece out. See that? So this whole piece will come out now. So the only thing holding on in the front is that clip, and then under the bottom, these three. Well, four actually. Two here and two there. All right. This is where we're going to run all of our wire to our amp up under the seat. All right. So what you're going to do is go ahead and take your mats and stuff out, because you don't need that in there. And then right here, all you're going to do is just lift up this mat. See that? So we got all the room in the world to take this that's back here and route this behind the actual carpet right here. See that? So we're going to put all of this behind the carpet right here, and then we're going to run it along, and then we're going to come out this hole right here. Everything's coming out of this hole. All right, so as you can see, I'm pulling the wire behind that module there. Let's see. Just like that. So it's going to sit back like that, and then I'm going to run it down here in the back here. Move this out the way. I'm going to run it down here all the way under to that hole right there. Now, a lot of this I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for a company called iCrimp that sent me two fantastic tools for free. Basically, these right here are wire strippers, and they cut wire too. And as you can see, here's the part number for it: iCrimp ICP-338. And then here are the actual crimping pliers, and these are some extra stripper. These are manual strippers, and these right here are automatic strippers. All right, so the crimp tool is IWS-QC, and this actually comes in a set. All right, so as you can see up here, you got different jaws you can put inside these pliers here to crimp whatever you need to crimp down. So we're going to be using these tools. Now I'll have these tools listed in my descriptions area. So I'll have 2 links for both of these tools and where you can get them from, and the price of them if anybody's interested in purchasing these. All right, so let's test these cutters out. Right here you can see it has the blade. Basically you put the wire between here and you just squeeze. All right, so let's see. We want to cut about this much. So we got it in there. Let's see. Look at that. I love it. Now, these are also strippers. So technically, if you want to strip something, all you have to do is take it, sit it in between these jaws here, and then just pull it. So I'm gonna show you. All right, so I got the wire in, and all you do is just pull, and there you go. That piece is gone. Pull that little piece off right there, and there you go. It stripped it. So they work fairly well. If the jaws were a little bigger, you know, it'll be able to pull that off smoother, but it still works. All right, so we got the power wire in and we got the audio wires in, and now we're going to go ahead and strip the remote wire. Strip the remote wire. Just like that. You can see how easily it stripped that wire. I mean, it took no effort at all. So they are really good with the smaller gauge wire. All right, so we got all the wires ran through, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this ground right here. Okay, now you can't just mount it right there. You're going to have to scrape off the paint. So I got my Dremel tool, and we're going to get to scrapping. All right, so we got that spot right there, and then what we're gonna do is ground it right here. All right, so you can see we got both of them in. That's not going nowhere. All right, and then we're gonna put a couple of zip ties across here to hold this down. Basically, we're just gonna tuck it like that, just like that. All right, and then we're gonna finish running everything up to the actual radio. All right, guys, so I got the power wire, the ground wire, the audio wire, and the remote wire all ran through. Okay, you can look up under here. You can see that it's all ran through. All the wires are going down. The ground is connected here. I got it zip tied there. It's going all the way here, zip tied, and then it's zip tied there. And we're going to go up under the dash. So I'm going to tuck this kind of back a little bit, and then we're going to go up underneath to look at the bottom. Well, let's move this out of the way. So basically, as you can see, I got the wire going up behind this module, and it comes out here, right where the power wire actually comes in at. Then I ran the audio wire from from there with the remote wire up, zip tied to here, right? Let's go all the way up under. Let's flip the camera. You can see it goes up over this piece, right here. It goes on top of it, right? All the way across. And then if you can see, let me get the light. It comes out right there. You see it? So I ran it across and then I ran it through. I ran it through there, which comes out by the radio. All right. So as you can see it right there, it goes over top of this. It was kind of hard getting it up there, but it went, and then out the side, and then I zip tied it there. I'm going to zip tie it up there too, but I wanted you to see that. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's the far as I can get it to zoom out. Okay, so let's go on top. Let me show you. And as you can see, I got it coming out right here. All right, it was easy for me to get it to come through this hole first, pull it out, and then go from that hole up here and then pull it all the way out. Okay, so I came through that bottom hole first. That one right there, I came through that hole first, pulled it all the way through, and then I went back in and came up and came out. All right. All right, so I got the remote wire up, and what I'm going to do is strip it, and then I'm going to strip the remote wire right here that's coming out of the actual radio, because I'm going to connect those together. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but I want to show you how this works. Now, this piece right here makes it so how much wire you want exposed. So you can push that in and make it shorter, or you can push this out like that to put as much on it as you want. Now see, that's how it's gonna look, and then you're gonna pull it. See that? See how easy that was? The little part is still in here, and you just dump that out. And then there you go. And we're gonna do the same with the remote wire coming out of the radio. Just like that. Just like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to test everything to make sure that the amp works and everything's hooked up right. I got to connect the power in the motor, but I'm going to connect the actual remote wires first. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this wire here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this first. All right, so I'm going to take it off, which is a 10 millimeter. I'm going to take the nut off, and then I'm going to clean it, and then I'm going to put this lead on, and then put the bolt back down, or the nut back down. All right, so as you can see, I got it cleaned. It's all cleaned off, and I'm going to put this lead right here, right on there, just like that. Push the wire down in there, and then I'm going to tighten it down. All right, so you can see I got everything coming out the back, and then all I got to do is put the fuse in. I suggest taking the fuse out, then hooking this up, and then putting the fuse back in it afterwards. All right, guys, so this right here is the speaker wire. I'm going to run the speaker wire from here all the way to the amp. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is clip this. All right, I got them on, and so it pulled both of them at the same time. You see that? That's awesome. These things are very sharp. All right, so I'm gonna hook these to the actual speaker, and then I'm gonna roll this roll back, so I don't know how much I need. All right, so we're gonna pull up this back half of the carpet just to get these wires under here. I had to pull up this trim piece right here just to pull the carpet from under it, and we have to pull up all of these little Christmas trees. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. Okay, and the way to pull those out it should just get your pry tool, stick it up under, and just pull it out. See that? So we're gonna do that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take a blade and make a small cut here because I want the wires to go from down into the floor. All right, so I'm gonna take this and just push through that cut right there, and I'm gonna slide it right in there. All right, so we got the wire through, and I'm just gonna pull. Yeah, that's good, about right there. All right, let's keep going. All right, so you can see the wires going down here, in here, and then I put it through that hole, which came out down there. You can see, came out that hole right there, and it's coming out, and then we're gonna run it under the carpet, and I'm gonna cut another hole up in the front of the amp, and then we're gonna connect it. All right, so the easiest way to get it under this carpet is to run it here till it gets here, right? And then just tuck it under here. All right, see right here, tuck it under here. Then as you're tucking it under here, tuck it all the way until you can pull it out right up under this. See how easy that was? And then we're just gonna go under here and come right at that hole again. All right. All right, so this right here is the speaker wire coming out of the hole. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is strip it. I mean, this thing's doing it perfect every time. This is crazy. All right, and then we're gonna run the positive and the negative. The negative one is the one with the line on it. See it right there? And the positive one is the solid one. That's how I did it on the speaker. And we're gonna run them into here. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this wire here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this first. All right, so I'm gonna take it off, which is a 10 millimeter. I'm gonna take the nut off, and then I'm gonna clean it, and then I'm gonna put this lead on, and then put the bolt back down, or the nut back down. All right, so as you can see, I got it cleaned. It's all cleaned off, and I'm gonna put this lead right here, right on there, just like that. Push the wire down in there, and then I'm gonna tighten it down. All right, so you can see I got everything coming out the back, and then all I gotta do is put the fuse in. I suggest taking the fuse out, then hooking this up, and then putting the fuse back in it afterwards. All right, so I put the fuse in, and I'm getting power. Okay, so the power wire's in. When I first showed you guys, the power wire was over here. I wasn't paying attention, but it says it, you know, power wire, so I switched it. So power wire's on this side, remote's in the middle, the negatives to the left or whatever. All right, so I got everything plugged in, everything ran through. The only thing I have to do on this side is take this part right here, and I really could just stick it up under there, but I'm gonna zip tie it. Okay, everything else is done right here. The amp's installed, and what we're gonna do is go towards the radio. All right, so like I said, we got everything ran out, radio's on, the amp's actually working, so that lets me know that the remote wire turned the amp on. Now I'm finna start doing the side for the 4-channel amp. You see right here, I got 4 sets of wires. They're pretty long. I got 4 sets of wires. I ran them through here, then I came out right here, pulled them out, and then I went back down in, and then I popped this loose right here, and I came out down through the bottom right here. And I'm gonna route it, you know, like up under this part, up under here, and then have it come down here, and then under the seat. All right, so I've already ran the speaker wire from the radio area I came down here on the corner right here, and then let me see if I can get a better view. I ran it along this metal brace here all the way down till it got here, and then I zip tied it, came out down through the bottom, zip tied it down here. Now on the side right here, you can see how it's zip tied. I zip tied it and just kind of went behind the wires down at the bottom, and then I came out the side. You can see I actually put some fabric wrap on it to kind of keep them together. And now we need to route the audio cable. We've got two of them, so we got to route one first and then the other. All right, guys, so we got the first audio cable for the 4-channel, and now we're going to run the second one through. All right, so we already got all 4 wires and one of the audio cables, and we ran it all up under here, and you can't even see it. You can see a little bit of it right there, and then it goes all the way across, and it goes down, and it is even with this. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the other one. All right, so I got everything hooked up in here. I have the front and rear audio cables. Those are the ones at the bottom, these two down here, and then the ones right here are the sub ones. Okay, so I got them all running in the back there. You see all that mess back there? I got them tied all up. Okay, and then we have the wires that's going to connect to the front and rear speaker wires that's coming to the amp. All right. Now this one right here I'm not finished with. I got to route this down under the bottom too, but see what I said? I came in from the top, dropped it down, came out this hole, and now I'm going to go back down in this hole and come out the bottom down here. And let's see. And then I'm going to run it along this metal frame. You can see the zip ties. It's behind it. I'm going to run it along that metal frame, and then down here like that. And then it'll end up with all of these wires right here. These are the wires that's going to the amp from the radio. Okay. This is the only one that's not with them that I have to run down so that I can put them all together. All right. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to start putting everything back together. All right. So we got everything out here. I got all 4 wires for the speakers, and I have both sets of audio cable. I put a little paint marker on these to let me know that these are the rear. I'm going to put an R on it too, but this right here is for the rear speakers. Now we got to do is just run this all up under the seat. So I'm going to have to take this seat out too. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to strip and put connectors on the ends of the speaker wire, because we're going to run those directly into the 4-channel amp. So what I'm going to use, let's see, is my stripper, which is from iCrimp. You can see the actual part number is ICP-338. All right, so we're going to strip them all with this. All right, these are the first set, just like that. And you can see, stripped it perfectly. All right, that's one, and we're gonna do another set. Just grab another set of wires. We're gonna do this one. All right, here we go. All right. Now, this right here is the kit that came with the strippers. And what I need is a couple of these to put on the end. All right. So we need a couple of these on each end. And we're going to use the crimp tool to crimp these down. So I decided to use the blue one since the wire is blue. But as you can see, I got the wire already pushed through. And what we're going to do is crimp it. And this right here is the crimp tool that I'm going to be using. Again, this tool right here is from iCrimp. The part number is IWS-QC. And we're going to use that first one. All right, so we got the first one in right here. And we're going to crimp it down. Just like that. See how it's crimped? Just like that. And then like it has a release button like in here. But you should be able to squeeze it. There you go. And it lets go. So it'll lock down. See that? It's locked. And then when you squeeze it all the way, just like that, and let go, it releases. All right, so let's look at what it did. Yeah, so it crimped it good. Look at that. That ain't coming off. That ain't coming off at all. So I'm gonna crimp them all like that, and we'll see how they turn out. But look at that, it crimped it good. It's like an auto locking crimp tool. All right, let's do another one. You see it's in there, and we're gonna crimp it, squeeze, get locked, and we're gonna squeeze it all the way. And then let go. Let's see. Yeah, it's crimping it. You see that? It's crimping it good. That ain't coming loose. And we're gonna do them all like that. This tool is awesome. All right, so we got them all done. They're all crimped great. That thing crimps really good. You do not have to worry about these coming loose. And then we're gonna run these directly to the amp. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna let these speaker wires hang down because right now I don't have a 4-channel amp and I don't want to hook them up and then I can't listen to my radio until I get the amp. So I'm gonna leave everything the way it is and just make it easy for myself to connect everything because everything's already ran. All I got to do is just hook stuff up. All right, so I'm going to start putting all of this back in. This right here isn't really hard. If you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right here, but it broke. And then 7 and 8. So those are the areas where you can pry to pop this loose. I would start in this corner right here first. And you probably can just pull it all out by hand. But you might get some that's gonna break. These right here, they say that these break first. Cause it's, it's hot, they dry rot. So just try to be careful and pull them out as slow as you can. And try not to hit the edge of the bezel too much. If you hit this if you push up on this, it's gonna break. I'm telling you. Trust me, I broke it. That's basically it. When I come back, when I get the new 4-channel amp, I'll hook that up and I'll show you guys how I hook it up or whatever. But I mean, basically, we've already ran the sub amp, and this video is about running a sub amp. I just happened to want to show you guys that I was going to run a 4-channel amp also, and I'll show you guys how I hook that up once the amp comes in. And like I said, these tools right here, the iCrimp tools, I'll put a link in the description area where you can get these tools at. It actually comes with this little cool box that has all the connections and a couple of zip ties in it. So, all right, guys, this is J.O.A.T.D, and I am out. I'm finally done.